you hear what I was playing, eh?
No, sir. I didn't think it would like to listen.
I'm sorry for that. For your sake. I do not play accurately. Now, anyone can play accurately. But I play with wonderful expression. As far as the piano is concerned, sentiment is my forte. I say the science for life.
Yes, sir.
And speaking of the science for life, you got those cucumber sandwiches covered in Lady Bracknell?
Yes, sir.
Well, by the way then, I see from your book that on Thursday night when Lord Shortman and Mr. Worthing were dining with me, 8 bottles of champagne are marked as having been consumed.
Yes, sir. 8 bottles and a pint.
Why is it that at a bachelor's establishment, the servants invariably drink the champagne? I ask merely for information.
I attribute it to the spirits of wine, sir. I have often observed in married houses, the champagne is rarely a first-rate brand.
That will do, Lane.
Thank you.
Lane's view on marriage seems somewhat lax. Really, if the lower orders have been such a good example for us, what on earth is the use of them? It seems a class to have absolutely no sense of moral responsibility.
Mr. Ernest Worthing.
My dear Ernest, what brings you into town?
Oh, pleasure, pleasure. What else should bring one anywhere? Eating as usual, I see, Algy.
I believe it is customary in good society to take some light refreshment at 5 o'clock. Where have you been since last Thursday?
In the country.
What on earth do you do there?
When one is in town, one amuses oneself. When one is in the country, one amuses other people. It is excessively boring.
And who are those that you amuse?
Oh, neighbours, neighbours.
I've got any good neighbours in your part of Shropshire?
Perfectly horrid. Never speak to one of them.
How immensely you must amuse them. By the way, Shropshire is your county, is it not?
Shropshire, yes, of course. Hello, why all these cups? Why the cucumber sandwiches? Why such reckless extravagance in one so young? Who's coming to tea?
Oh, merely Aunt Augusta. And Gwendolyn.
Well, how perfectly delightful.
Yes, that is all very well, but I'm afraid Aunt Augusta won't quite approve of your behaviour.
May I ask why?
My dear fellow, the way you flirt with Gwendolyn is perfectly disgraceful. It's almost as bad as the way Gwendolyn flirts with you.
Well, I am in love with Gwendolyn. I have come up to town expressly to propose to her.
I thought you would come for pleasure. I call that business.
How utterly unromantic you are.
I really don't see anything romantic about proposing. It is very romantic to be in love, yes. But there is nothing romantic in a definite proposal. Why, one may be accepted. One usually is, I believe. Then the excitement is all over. Don't touch the cucumber sandwiches! I bought them specially for Aunt Augusta.
But you have been eating them all this time.
That is quite a different matter. She's my aunt. Have the bread and butter. The bread and butter is for Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn is devoted to the bread and butter.
And a very good bread and butter it is too.
You need not eat it as if you were going to eat it all. You act as if you are married to Gwendolyn already. You are not married to her, and I do not think you will ever be. Why on earth do you say that? Well, first off, girls never marry the men they flirt with. Girls don't think it wrong.
Well, that is nonsense.
It is not. It is a great truth. It accounts for the extraordinary number of bachelors one sees all over the place. In second, I would give my consent.
Your consent?
My dear fellow, Gwendolyn is my first cousin. And before I allow you to marry her, you're still clear of the whole question of Cecily.
Cecily? What on earth do you mean? What do you mean, Algy, by Cecily? I don't know anyone of the name of Cecily.
Bring me the cigarette case Mr. Worthing left in the smoking room last time we dined here.
Yes, sir.
Do you mean to say that you've had my cigarette case all this time? Well, I wish to goodness you would let me know. I've been writing frantic letters to Scotland Yard about it, and I was very nearly offering a large award.
Oh, I wish you still would. I happen to be more than usually hard up.
There is no good offering a reward now that the thing is found.
That is rather mean of you, Ernest, I must say. However, it makes it no matter. For now that I look upon the inscription inside, I find that the thing is not yours at all. This cigarette case is a present from someone of the name of Cecily. And you said you didn't know anyone of that.
Well, if you want to know, Cecily happens to be my aunt.
Your aunt?
Yes, charming old lady she is too. Lives at Tunbridge Wells. Just give it back to me, Algy.
But she's your aunt who lives at Tunbridge Wells. Then why does she call herself Little Cecily? From little Cecily, or with her fondest love,
To my dear fellow, what on earth is there in that? Some aunts are tall, some aunts are not tall. That is a matter that surely an aunt should be allowed to decide for herself. You seem to think that every aunt should be exactly like your aunt. That is absurd. But for heaven's sake, just give me back the cigarette case.
yes, but why does your aunt call you her uncle? From little Cecily, with her fondest love, to her dear Uncle Jack. There is no objection, I admit, to an aunt being a small aunt, but what aunt, no matter what her size may be, calls her own nephew her uncle? I can't quite make out. Besides, your name isn't Jack at all, it's Ernest.
It isn't Ernest. It's Jack.
You have always told me it was Ernest. I have introduced you to everyone as Ernest. You answer to the name of Ernest. You look as though your name were Ernest. You are the most earnest-looking person I ever saw in my life. It is perfectly absurd to say that your name is not Ernest. It says it in your card. Here's one of them. Mr. Ernest Worth, B4, the old one. I shall keep this in case you ever try to deny that your name is Ernest to me, to Gwendolyn, or to anyone else.
Well, my name is Ernest in town and Jack in the country. And that cigarette case was given to me in the country.
Yes, but that does not account for the fact that your small aunt, Cecily, who lives at Tunbridge Wells, called you her dear uncle. Come on, boy, you'd much better have the thing out at once.
My dear Albert, you talk exactly as if you were a dentist. It is a vulgar thing to talk like a dentist when one isn't a dentist. It produces a false impression.
I believe that is what a dentist always does. Now, go on. Tell me the whole thing. I may mention that I've always suspected you of being a confirmed and secret Bunburyist. I'm quite sure of it now.
Bunburyist? What on earth do you mean by a Bunburyist?
I shall reveal to you the meaning of that incomparable expression as soon as you are kind enough to reveal to me why you are Ernest in town and Jack in the country.
Well, produce my cigarette case first.
Here it is. Now, produce your explanation. Oh, and pray, make it improbable.
My dear fellow, there is nothing improbable about my explanation at all. In fact, it's perfectly ordinary. Old Mr. Thomas Cardew, who adopted me when I was a little boy, made me in his will guardian to his grandmother, Miss Cecily Cardew. Cecily, who addresses me as her uncle from motives of respect you cannot possibly appreciate, lives at my place in the country under the charge of her admirable governess, Miss Prism.
Where is that place in the country, by the way?
Oh, that is nothing to you, dear boy. You are not going to be invited. I will tell you candidly the place is not in Shropshire.
I suspected that. Higher Bunbury and all lower Shropshire on 2 separate occasions. Now go on. Why are you Ernest in town and Jack in the country?
My dear Algy, I don't know whether you will be able to understand my real motive. You are hardly serious. In order to get up to town, I have always pretended to have a younger brother of the name of Ernest, who lives in the Albany and gets into the most dreadful scrapes. That, my dear Algy, is the whole truth, pure and simple.
The truth is rarely pure and never simple. What you are is a Bunburyist. I was quite right in saying you were a Bunburyist. You are one of the most advanced Bunburyists I know. What on earth do you mean? You have invented an invaluable... You're a younger brother. You've invented a younger brother called Ernest in order that you may be able to go down to town as much as you like. I have invented an invaluable permanent invalid called Bunbury in order that I may be able to go down to the country whenever I choose. Bunbury is perfectly invaluable. For instance, if it weren't for Bunbury's extraordinary bad health, I would be able to dine with you at Willis's tonight, where I've been engaged to Aunt Augusta for more than a week.
I haven't asked you to dine with me anywhere tonight.
I know. You are absurdly careless about sending out invitations. It is very foolish of you.
You had much better dine with your Aunt Augusta.
Oh, I haven't the smallest intention of doing anything of the kind. Well, in the first place, I dined there last Monday, and once a week is quite enough to dine with one's own relations. Besides, now that I know you to be a confirmed and secret Bunburyist, I naturally want to talk to you about Bunbury. I want to tell you the rules.
I'm not a Bunburyist at all. If Gwendolyn accepts me, I'm going to kill my brother. Indeed, I think I'll kill him in any case. Cecily seems a little too much interested in him. That's rather a bore. So I'm going to get rid of her, and I strongly advise you do the same with your Mr. That infinite prig who has the absurd name.
Nothing will induce me to part with Bunbury. That must be Aunt Augusta. Only relatives and creditors suffering in their Wagnerian manner. Now, I get out of the way for 10 minutes in order that you may have an opportunity of proposing to Gwendolyn. May I dine with you at Millicent tonight?
I suppose, if you want.
Yes! Oh, but you must be serious about it. I hate those who aren't serious about meals. It is so shallow.
Lady Bracknell and Miss Fairfax.
Good afternoon, dear Algernon. I hope you are behaving very well.
I am feeling very well.
That is not quite the same thing. In fact, the two things rarely go together.
Dear me, you are smart.
I am always smart. Am I not, Mr. Worthing?
You are quite perfect, Miss Fairfax.
Oh, I hope I am not that. It will leave no room for developments, and I tend to develop in many directions.
I'm sorry that we are a little late, Algernon, but I was obliged to call on dear Lady Harvey. I have not been there since her poor husband's death. I have never seen a woman so old. She looked quite 20 years younger. And now I'll have a cup of tea and one of those nice cucumber sandwiches you promised me.
Certainly, Aunt Augusta.
Won't you come and sit here, Gwendolyn?
Thanks, Mamma. I'm quite comfortable where I am.
Good heavens! Lane, where are the cucumber sandwiches?
There are no cucumbers down at the market this morning, sir. I went down twice.
No cucumbers?
No, sir. Not even for ready money.
That will do, Lane. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I am greatly distressed, Aunt Augusta, about there being no cucumbers, not even for any money.
It really makes no matter. I had some crumpets with Lady Harvey, who seems to me to be living entirely for pleasure now.
I hear her hair turned quite gold from grief.
It certainly has changed its color, but from what I of course cannot say. Thank you. I've quite a treat for you tonight, Algernon. I intend to put you down with Mary Farquhar.
I'm sorry, Aunt Augusta, but I will have to give up the pleasure of dining with you tonight after all.
I certainly hope not. It would put my table completely out. Your uncle would have to dine upstairs. Fortunately, he is accustomed to that.
It is a great bore, and I need hardly say, a terrible disappointment to me. But the fact is that I have just received a telegram saying that my poor friend Bunbury is very ill again. Oh, they seem to think I should be with him.
It is strange. This Mr. Bunbury seems to suffer from curiously bad health.
Yes, Bunbury is a dreadful invalid.
Well, Algernon, I think that it is high time that this Mr. Bunbury make up his mind whether he is going to live or to die. His shilly-shallying with the question is absurd. I would be much obliged if you would ask Bunbury from me to be kind enough to not have a relapse on Saturday, for I rely on you to arrange my music for me.
I think I can promise that he'll be all right by Saturday. Oh, and I will speak to him if he is still conscious. Now, if you will step into the next room for a moment, I'll run over the program after all.
Thank you. I'm sure the program will be delightful. Gwendolyn, you will accompany me.
Certainly, Mamma.
Charming day it has been, Miss Fairfax.
Pray, don't talk to me about the weather, Mr. Worthing. Whenever people talk to me about the weather, I always feel quite certain that they mean something else. And that makes me so nervous.
I do mean something else.
I thought so. In fact, I am never wrong.
And I would like to be allowed to take advantage of Lady Bracknell's temporary absence.
I would certainly advise you to do so. Mamma has a way of coming back suddenly into a room that I have often had to speak to her about.
Miss Fairfax, ever since I met you, I have admired you more than any girl that I have ever met since I met you.
Yes, I am quite well aware of the fact, and I often wish that in public, at any rate, you had been more demonstrative. For me, you have always had an irresistible fascination. Even before I met you, I was far from indifferent to you. We live, as I hope you know, Mr. Worthing, in an age of ideals, and my ideal has always been to love someone of the name of Ernest. There is something in the name that inspires absolute confidence. Ever since Algernon first mentioned to me that he had a friend called Ernest, I knew I was destined to love you.
You really love me, Gwendolyn.
Passionately.
Oh, darling, you don't know how happy you've made me.
My own Ernest.
But you don't mean to say that you couldn't love me if my name wasn't Ernest.
But your name is Ernest.
Well, yes, I know it is, but suppose it was something else. Do you mean to say that you couldn't love me then?
Ah, that is clearly a metaphysical speculation. And like most metaphysical speculations, has very little reference at all to the actual facts of real life as we know them.
Oh, personally, darling, to speak quite candidly, I don't much care for the name of Ernest. But I don't think the name suits me at all.
It suits you perfectly. It is a divine name. It has a music of its own. It produces vibrations.
Well, really, I think that there are lots of other much nicer names. I think that Jack, for instance, is a charming name.
Jack. No, there is very little music in the name Jack, if any at all, indeed. It does not thrill. It produces absolutely no vibrations. I have known several Jacks, and they all, without exception, were more than usually plain. The only really safe name is Ernest.
Gwendolyn, I must get christened at once. I mean that we must get married at once. There is no time to be lost.
Married, Mr. Worthing?
Well, surely. You know that I love you, and you led me to believe, Miss Fairfax, that you were not absolutely indifferent to me.
I adore you, but you have not proposed to me yet. Nothing at all has been said about marriage. The subject has not even been touched on.
May I propose to you now?
I think it would be an admirable opportunity. And to spare you any further possible disappointment, Mr. Worthing, I think it's only fair to tell you quite frankly beforehand that I'm fully determined to accept you.
Gwendolyn.
Yes, Mr. Worthing, what do you have to say to me?
Oh, you know what I've got to say to you.
Yes, but you don't say it.
Gwendolyn, will you marry me?
Of course I will, darling. How long you have been about it. I am afraid you have had very little experience in how to propose.
My own one. I have never loved anyone in the world but you.
Yes, but men often propose for practice. I know my brother Jared does. All my girlfriends tell me so. What wonderfully blue eyes you have, Ernest. They are quite blue. I hope you will always look at me just like that, especially when there are other people present.
Mr. Worthing! Rise, sir, from this semi-recumbent posture. It is most ridiculous.
Mamma, I must beg you to retire. This is no place for you. Besides, Mr. Worthing is not quite finished yet.
Finished what, may I ask?
I am engaged to be married to Mr. Worthing, Mamma.
Pardon me. You are nothing of the kind. When you do become engaged, I or your father, should his health permit him, will inform you of the fact. An engagement should come upon a young girl as a surprise, pleasant or unpleasant as the case may be. It is hardly something that she could be allowed to arrange for herself. And now I have a few questions to put to you, Mr. Worthing. While I'm making these inquiries, you, Gwendolyn, will wait for me below in the carriage.
Mamma!
In the carriage, Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn, the carriage!
Yes, Mamma.
You may have a seat, Mr. Worthing.
Thank you, Lady Bracknell. I prefer standing.
I feel somewhat bound to tell you that you were not down on my list of eligible young men. However, should your answers be what a really affectionate mother requires, I'm quite ready to enter your name. Do you smoke?
Well, yes, I must admit I smoke.
I'm glad to hear it. A man should always have an occupation of some kind. There are far too many idle men in London as it is. How old are you?
29.
A very good age to be married at. I have always been of opinion that a man who wishes to get married should either know everything or nothing. Which do you think?
I suppose I know nothing, Lady Bracknell.
I am pleased to hear it. I do not believe in anything that happens with natural ignorance. Ignorance is like a delicate exotic fruit. Touch it, and the bloom is gone. What is your income?
Between 7,000 and 8,000 a year.
In land or in investments?
In investments, chiefly. I have a country house for some land, of course, attached to it. About 1,500 acres, I believe. But I don't depend on that for my real income. In fact, as far as I can make out, the poachers are the only ones who make anything out of it.
A country house? You have a townhouse, I hope. A girl with a simple, unspoiled nature like Gwendolyn could hardly be asked to reside in the country.
Well, I own a house in Belgrave Square, but it is let by the year to Lady Bloxham. I can get it back, of course, whenever I like, in 6 months' notice.
Lady Bloxham? I don't know her.
She goes about very little. She's a lady considerably advanced in years.
Ah, nowadays there is no guarantee of respectability of character. What number in Belgrave Square?
149.
The unfashionable side. I thought there was something there. However, that could easily be altered.
Do you mean the fashion or the side?
Both, if necessary, I believe, Mr. White. What are your politics?
Well, I'm afraid I really have none. I'm a liberal unionist.
They count as Tories. They come in the evening or dine with us at dinner. At any rate. Now, to minor matters. Are your parents living?
I have lost both my parents.
To lose one parent, Mr. Worthing, may be regarded as a misfortune. To lose both looks like carelessness. Who was your father? He was evidently a man of some wealth.
I'm afraid I really don't know. The fact is, Lady Bracknell, I said I had lost both my parents. It would be nearer the truth to say that my parents seem to have lost me. I don't actually know who I am by birth. I was found.
Found?
The late Mr. Thomas Cardew, an older gentleman of a very kindly and charitable disposition, found me and gave me the name of Worthing because he happened to have a first-class ticket to Worthing in his pocket at the time. Worthing is a place in Sussex. It's a seaside resort.
Where did this charitable gentleman who had a first-class ticket to this seaside resort find you?
In a handbag.
A handbag?
Yes, Lady Bracknell, I was in a handbag. A somewhat large black leather handbag with handles to it. An ordinary handbag, in fact.
In what locality did this Mr. James or Thomas Cardew come across this ordinary handbag?
In the cloakroom at Victoria Station. It was given him in mistake for his own.
The cloakroom? At Victoria Station?
Yes, the Brighton line.
The line is immaterial. Mr. Worthing, I feel somewhat bewildered by what you have just told me. To be born, or at any rate bred, and a handbag, whether it had handles on it or not, seems to me to display contempt for the ordinary decencies of family life that reminds oneself of the worst excesses of the French Revolution.
Well, may I ask what you would advise me to do? Well, I need hardly say I'd do anything in the world to ensure Gwendolyn's happiness.
Mr. Worthing, I would strongly advise you to try and acquire some relations as soon as possible, and to make a definite effort to try and produce one parent of either sex before the season is quite over.
Well, I don't see how I can possibly manage to do that. Well, I can produce the handbag at any moment, but it's in my dressing room at home. Really, I think that should satisfy you, Lady Bracknell.
Me, sir? What has it to do with me? You could hardly imagine that I and Lord Bracknell would dream of allowing our only daughter, a girl brought up with the utmost care, to marry into a cloakroom and form an alliance with a parson. Good morning, Mr. Wilde.
Oh, good morning! Algy! Don't play that ghastly tune! How idiotic you are!
Did it go off all right, old boy? Well, you don't mean to say that Gwendolyn refused you? This is the way she has about her. Well, she's always refusing people.
Oh, well, Gwendolyn is right as a trivet. As far as she is concerned, we're engaged. Her mother, however, is perfectly unbearable. You don't think there's any chance that Gwendolyn becomes like her mother in about 150 years, do you, Algy?
Women always become like their mothers. That is their tragedy. No man does, that's his. Oh, but have you told Gwendolyn the truth about your being Ernest in town and Jack in the country?
Oh, my dear fellow, the truth isn't quite the sort of thing one tells to a nice, sweet, refined girl like Gwendolyn. What extraordinary ideas you have about the ways to behave to women.
The only way to behave to a woman is to make love to her if she is pretty, and to someone else if she's plain.
Well, that is nonsense.
What about your brother? Or what about the profligate Ernest?
So by the end of the week, I shall have got rid of him. I'll say that he died in Paris of apoplexy. Lots of people die of apoplexy. Quite suddenly, don't they?
Yes, but it is hereditary, my dear fellow. The kind of thing that runs in families. Well, you would much better say he died of a severe chill.
You are sure a severe chill is hereditary or anything of the kind?
Of
course it isn't. Very well then. My poor brother Ernest is to be carried off suddenly in Paris by a severe chill. That gets rid of him.
Yes, but I thought you said that Miss Cardew was a little too much interested in your poor brother Ernest. Won't she feel his loss a good deal?
Oh, that is all right. Cecily is not a city romantic girl, I'm quite glad to say. She has a capital appetite, goes on long walks, and pays no attention at all to her lessons.
I would rather like to see Cecily.
Well, I will take very good care that you never do. She is excessively pretty, and she is only just 18.
Have you told Gwendolyn that you have an excessively pretty ward who is only just 18?
But one doesn't blurt these things out to people. Cecily and Gwendolyn are perfectly certain to become extremely great friends. Why, I'll bet you anything you like that half an hour after they've met, they will be calling each other sister.
Women only call each other that, and they have called each other many other things first. Now, if we want to get a table at Willis's, we must go up in dress. Did you know it is nearly 7?
And which is always nearly 7.
Well, I'm hungry.
Miss Fairfax.
Gwendolyn, upon my word.
Algy, kindly turn your back. I have something very particular to say to Mr. Worthing.
My own darling.
Ernest, we may never be married. From the expression on Mamma's face, I fear we never shall. But although she may prevent us from becoming man and wife, nothing that she can possibly do can alter my eternal devotion to you.
Oh, dear Gwendolyn.
The story of your romantic origin, related to me by Mamma with unpleasing comments, has naturally stirred the deeper fibers of my nature. Your Christian name has an irresistible fascination. The simplicity of your character is exquisitely incomprehensible to me. Your town address at the Albany I have. What is your address in the country?
The Manor House, Woolton, Hertfordshire.
There is good postal service, I suppose. It may be necessary to do something desperate. That, of course, will require serious consideration. I will communicate with you daily.
My own one.
How long do you remain in town?
Till Monday.
Good. Algy, you may turn around now.
Oh, I've turned around already.
You may also ring the bell.
You will let me see you to your carriage, my own darling.
Certainly.
I will see Miss Fairfax out.
Yes, sir.
A sherry, Lane.
Yes, sir.
Cecily. Lane, tomorrow I'm going to Bunbury.
Yes, sir.